Alright you guys, Strike here. I'm going to be doing another commentary for my friend Juan. Um, Basically for me, just a little small talk here first. I had I got some tickets recently driving. Man, and the guy just destroyed me on it because for one, I had outdated insurance in my car. Luckily, I still had my registration and my license on me. I didn't have my seatbelt on. I didn't. It was speeding, and I did a traffic violation because the road was so retarded. There was two lanes, and there was a turn right only on one of them at the lights, and I just went straight ahead, keeping with the traffic. Such a retarded sign, so I'm probably gonna go battle that in court. But luckily, the guy only gave me two of them. So I kind of feel bad battling for court, but I'm still gonna do it. And I've been driving for now 7 years, and I've never ever gotten a ticket. And I drive pretty recklessly sometimes, although I'm aware of what's going around me, but recklessly in terms of the laws. And yeah, never an issue. I have a girl in the car, and then boom, I have a ticket. Retarded. Anyways, so guys, we're going to discuss some ideas on mill for some ecos, and there's lots of mistakes I see. I actually rang for a team or two in the past and had to play this map a few times, so I can see what teams at the main level and even the invite level do on this, and sometimes they're not so good. They tend to just go and slaughter themselves. You can play this map eco in a smart, intelligent fashion. Just like we discussed some of the ideas on Nuke, some of the ideology still applies to this map. Stuff like trying to get them to think you're playing a strong hand on one side and getting them to regroup at their guns and go to one place together, as most teams will do. But you have to be pretty convincing to be able to get them to do that. So we're going to start up with the left side of the map, and this is the trap side. Most of the time, you're never really going to stack this side because you don't. Most teams will eventually try and hit the A side of the map on eco. There's lots of places to hide in this side, on the B side of the map, so most teams won't really opt to go here. What I see lots of teams doing is pushing the stairs and trying to get in this area. Almost every single team will be smart enough to stay back on an eco in SA2 and SA1. They will spread it probably 2-3 in their split, and just one person grabs each corner with their guns. Chances are pretty slim that you're going to take any area from here. You're just going to get cut down. So this is the trap side, played very passively. You still probably will want to play with two people, just like on Nuke where we played two people in ramp. And your trap sides do always have kind of a little bit of crossfire going on. My suggestion would be, if the guy plays in the house, if he does, he still doesn't want to be peeking. You want to have one guy who's going to be, he's going to be the main pull. So he's going to be the guy that initiates. He's going to be up here, and he's not peeking down ever, because that's just going to get him naded and flashed, and he can't be sitting around an area where he can get spotted from the grate. He's just around here, looking at the grass back and forth a little bit. Hopefully, if you guys do eco, a serious eco, you guys will all buy deagles, say, on your second eco, or if you don't think that you guys are going to, sometimes it's a really good idea to deagle armor, or just deagle on the first eco, and really, let's say you're short on rounds, and you guys didn't have such a good T side, and you think you really need this, you really need to win a eco, go for deagle armor first round, because there's higher chance of more MP5s on their team. And some people will be saving pistols, so you might be able to win a round doing that. So one guy just sitting around here spotting an angle this deep, not really any farther, because if he starts peeking this area, then they're just gonna isolate you with flashes, and they're gonna come up if they do eventually come up. One guy is for sure just gonna keep his gun in this area, so you should just sit here and wait and hold the grass angle as best you can like this, and you make the first shot. The other guy basically just sitting around underneath here, hopefully with a deagle also, and he's just waiting, and All he's waiting on is for the gunshots of the guy who's peeking from above. He's just waiting here, not making any noise. He's not peeking this. This is really crucial because if one guy dies, obviously crossfire is way less is not effective, right? So he's just sitting here waiting for the fighting to start, and as soon as the fighting starts, that's when he peeks out, takes a few shots, and hopefully can catch one or two guys sitting here looking up like this, or they'll run up and he'll get some shots on the side, hopefully anything like that. The problem with playing up in the roof is some people will pre-nade that on eco or something. It's not as often that somebody will pre-nade below that, below this bridge, because if there's anybody playing there, they usually start peeking, right? So don't be peeking, and if you don't play really up here, because you are forced to peek here, otherwise grenades are going to be coming up. It's easy to bank it off and whatnot. So yeah, that's a really good just trap setup, and you just wait. That's all you do. If the door opens and squeaky, then this guy just comes to support. This guy does not engage for as long as possible, and then tries to kill bomber and blah blah blah. And you guys have to make do of what you can. Lots of teams will rush down middle. This is every single T team thinks about, okay, don't let them push down middle on us. So if you think that you're going to be successful doing this, every team is their main anti-eco is this threat of this middle push. So they'll either come here and pre-flash and pre-nade, or they'll hang back and you'll get cut down as you come here. Like as soon as they spot you over the top, they'll start flashing and nading, and they might drop back to points where there's no way you're going to do anything. So pushing down middle usually doesn't do anything for you. It's very rare that we've won anything doing a mid push. So what I suggest, since the other two players are playing a trap usually on the opposite side, the three guys stick together and they come down here and they rush down the ramp. Now most players will commit fully to the point where they just rush and they try and kill as much as they can and they die, blah blah blah. Remember, we're trying to force them into the trap side on this map. So your three guys will come down here, hopefully once again deagles. If you're doing a concrete save, maybe it's a mixed deagle USP, fine. Lots of teams will just hang back way back. If they happen to play up close, this is probably a good thing for you, because the first guy is just coming down, and the first guy really shouldn't stop. Okay, so the first guy just comes down and runs and guns with his pistols. The two guys behind him post up and are trying to kill the guys shot for shot. This guy just comes up here and starts seeing if there's anything up close like this. You don't want to start peeking this angle up deep far like that. You're not going to win any battles with a bunch of guys posted up waiting for people to come around this corner and this corner. So come to if they're playing up close and you get to this point, that's when you really you want to come here and maybe get a quick headshot or something. You make something happen with your eco. It's totally dependent on hitting a good headshot or two with a deagle or USP. So you play up close. If at this point you don't see anything and there's nothing that's occurred at this point, they're playing back, you need to be disciplined, and instead of falling to their defense and just breaking down the push, have the sense to say, okay, they're not playing in SA1, and three of you guys fall back. It's not so common that players will walk up middle or something, or stab you in the back in middle. So let them have middle. Let them have middle. You usually have to give up something in a map, like on Nuke we usually give up outside right, or etc etc. Sometimes you can be sneaky and give up upper. So on this map, you're gonna have to stack either the middle in some way, or you're gonna have to stack another part of the A site. So what I suggest, and what I think works really good, is if you don't see anybody at SA1, a few seconds will pass, 20 seconds or so, and they're gonna get comfortable. They're gonna start to push up. So you want to have one guy just peeking in the corner here, not making the grass noise because you're just gonna get pre-naded, peeking in the corner, and as soon as this guy shoots, the two guys that were with him are just right behind him, ready to swing around. So this guy shoots, soon as the guy comes around the corner and starts shooting, both these guys just swing out wide and start blasting. At mid-range here, you can get good, quick, clean headshots and hopefully trade because you have more guns pointed at the guys than they do. If you trade, if you get a few kills, even one kill, these guys, you need to start pushing down right away, trying to get that gun and coming down. If you fall back, this is really no good because they're just going to, you lost advantage of trying to get the gun and the close range advantage. So if you trade here, go down quick, grab the guns, and then start battling at that point. Hopefully they will, if they lose a player or two, they're just going to fall back and they're going to run into your trap. Your trap has to stay very patient. Even to the point where it's, you know, the trap really should just wait until they plant at this point, because if you say go for 2 for 2, or they kill 3 of you guys here, they kill 3 of you guys here, they don't know that your teammate, they might assume that other teammates are rotating into the side already, blah blah blah, and they might recoup, and the 3 of that are still alive are just going to say rush B, and they'll run right into the trap. So be patient. Lots of good things happen if you don't force things. So that would be a good way to play as CT. A lot of players play passive in the side CT also. They boost in the boxes and the corners. That works sometimes if the team is not expecting an eco. So let's say it's 6th round in, 8th round in, and you guys are hurting on money, and then they're not sure if you're going to eco or not. Playing a passive eco without letting them even know what guns you have, so not even peeking with a deagle or anything or shooting off any rounds, playing a full-on passive where you don't shoot at all until they're coming into the site, works really good. That's when I would recommend you guys boost up in the boxes and play the corners and hide, and then peek out as soon as you know they're checking the site. That would be the best way to play that an eco, passive eco. And the rush mid eco also is only really effective on that 8th round, the eco when they're not expecting you to eco. If you had a FAMAS the previous round and you lose that round, they're going to expect an eco. So don't think they won't. At least a decent team with a decent caller, if they have a FAMAS, if you've had a FAMAS and they won that round, they're probably going to expect an eco. So rushing forward into choke points is probably going to get you killed. But if they don't know, then those passive ecos work really good. Okay, guys, we're going to be discussing T ecos on mill. Now these are fairly common. Pistol rounds on this map go half and half, right? So some things that lots of teams do is just they rush 5-man somewhere, right? They rush through the sewers to the door, and that usually tends to be a massacre. They rush the stairs, and that usually tends to be a massacre. So we're going to discuss some more clever ideas that might win you a round or two. A lot of teams on this map, they have those 2 guys kind of in middle, right? They have usually have around 2 guys kitty, 1 guy middle, 1 guy supporting this area, and 1 guy main in this area, right? So if you can convince that second player and maybe that mid player to kind of sneak towards one side, if you can convince them of doing that just by fighting off, blah blah blah, then your main force might have a 3-on-2 in another spot on the map. So a very common thing on ecos is if a bunch of time has passed and nobody has seen each other, they're gonna start questioning sewers, right? You want to use that to your advantage. Spread them out as much as you can. So you lose the first round, and this will really only work if you have a deagle or 2. Doesn't need to be the full team, but let's say your first pistol round, you guys lost, and you lost heavily, but you got 2 kills. 2 guys got a kill each. Those 2 guys should probably buy a deagle. Their money is going to be in good situations. So you're going to send 1 guy into SA2 right here, and he's not peeking. He's not letting himself known. Remember, the idea is to sell the fact that you guys could possibly go sewer. You're going to have 1 guy who's going to go sewer also, and he's going to run it all the way to the door. and the other 3 guys are going to be in SA1. They're going to close the distance in SA1 for the reason of if they happen to peek in SA1, then you guys can rush him and hopefully kill him before he retreats. Don't come around this corner like this and watch here. All 3 guys should be walking around here, closing to let the last moment of being seen as possible. So they should be walking up all the way up to here, and as soon as they get here, just all together peek this as quick as you can. Try not to make any noise, and then just wait. That's all they're doing, is they're waiting. Now, the guys now this is just going to be 3, so I'm not going to really. Well, okay, I'll run it there. I'm trying to discuss at the same time. So let's say a minute in the round has passed. Okay, that's when you guys are going to start moving up. This guy right here needs to get up into SA1. Hopefully, they didn't push on you. If you're playing a team that's ballsy and they push on you, it comes down to just killing. So this guy is going to have to be a good shot with his deagle and get a kill. If he doesn't, you can play the strat by the way you've discussed it. If not, well, that's Counter-Strike for you. Nothing is for sure, right? So so this guy's job is just to sell the idea that he's working up the stairs. All he has to come around these corners and just shoot a little bit with his deagle. Even if he has a Glock, it's still good enough. Okay, so he just comes here, and this has to be pretty quick. So about 15 seconds. If you wait too long, people know it's going to become, it's not serious. Okay, so you need to do this all as a team, fairly together. So this guy, it starts off, and for about 15 seconds, this guy's going to be shooting a little bit in tandem with the guy in Squeaky. The guy in Squeaky is going to open the door, but safely. He's going to open the door, and it's important that this guy does not die, because that gives an idea that there's a few guys in the Squeaky room. And what he's going to do is he's just going to open the Squeaky door, and that's all he's going to do. He's going to open the squeaky door and maybe shoot through it a little bit, hold a corner. He's going to open the squeaky door. That's all he's going to do. And he can even open it forward like that and look into the sight a little bit. And if a guy who peeks him up close, he gets a deagle shot, boom, he's in the sight. And that completely opens the round. So this guy he's messing with him, but he does not want to come in and come out. He does not want to do that. So those 2 guys are just shooting for 10 seconds. Now, what the mentality is of the opposite team is, if a lot of time has passed, say a minute or a minute and a half, and there's a guy on the squeaky door, and there's a guy on the steps, the guy in middle here is going to start to lean towards that, and the guy who's playing here is going to be even more so that. So that gives the opportunity for the guys in SA1 to creep up and get a quick 3-on-2. And if they are able to kill one guy quickly and become a 3-on-1, then they're just going to overwhelm that site really quickly, and you at least will get a bomb down. And if the 2 guys on the opposite side are still alive, they can pinch around while the guys are rotating, and you guys can really win around here. So when those 2 guys say we're going, the stairs and the squeaky doors, these guys start walking up. They start walking up to this point right here, and they're just waiting. They give it 10 seconds. So you look at the clock, you're looking at 10 seconds, you start going up. Hopefully there's no way peeking. 15 seconds, and that's when you go. So you guys will have to go, and you'll have to go hard. And hopefully you never know where they're going to be in this area. But, when I clear it, this is the weirdest spot right here. Gun rounds or eco rounds, whatever, this is the weirdest spot. Because at this point right here, you can have a guy sitting in this corner here, watching this, and you can have a guy there, and then you can have a guy peek out, right? So it's like a triple threat spot. You have to be brave. One guy needs to just commit to one side. So at this point right here, this guy just needs to commit to one thing. He either has to come here, or he has to come here. Just full on. No fear of the opposite side. The next 2 guys grab the opposite side, right? If this one guy sacrifices himself and dies, and these guys come in and just insta dink the guy in the corner, that's a good trade. An eco trade is the way to go. And then he grabs a gun. You guys will another 2-on-1 again, 2-on-1, and before that guy can rotate back or looks back, you guys are in the sight. And then you have the threat of everybody coming in behind them. So it's So it's important that you guys go hard. There's no dicking around on this corner trying to, you know, pick and stuff. As soon as those 10 seconds, 15 seconds have passed, it's imperative that you guys go hard. Okay? I really don't recommend full-on rushes up middle, up the stairs. Those usually get you canceled really quickly. There is one thing, and this that works if you guys have a good spawn on the sides, on either side there, or back in T spawn, the good spawns. If the first guy is able to come up here and bank the flash off the box, and if he isn't able to throw it, it's not the easiest flash, it's not the hardest flash either in the world, but if he's able to do that on the run, you guys can get up, because getting up going all the way around and getting up in the site, you guys can spill out into this area before that. If the guy plays under the box or up there, you guys can overwhelm him too. So if it's a gun round eco, there's a big difference between ecos that are pistol round and gun round ecos, because they never know what's going to happen. Because on gun round ecos, lots of players sometimes will come up with ops and they'll post up, right, and as soon as they do that, you know, there's 5 guys coming up on his ass, and they're just gonna bust him up. So even if the first guy is, you know, with his flash out and he dies running up because he gets cut down by a Colt here or whatever, that flash goes off in this area, and then Coulter gets somewhat blind, and the guy is taking a long time to get up, and these guys come up and kill this guy, and then it's, you know, a free for all really quickly. It turns into a bad situation for the CTs. It's important that you guys don't stop in this area. If you're blind, even if you're blind, just keep running and run into this area or something. And number 2, the flash is really important. Something I suggest though, out of the group of that rushes, if you're the 4th or 5th guy and this is smart baiting, stick around this area. Stick around this area, especially if you have a deagle or if you have an AK. If this is a gun round and you guys take the stairs, stick around this area. Okay, it's really important. This area can cut off the whole site right here and can watch the back. So this guy is sticking in this area right here, can listen for anybody running from behind him, and can hold the back alley. You really don't want to be peeking the back alley. Lots of players are going to look for a kill for there. So this guy can just hold the back alley here, can even watch the bridge. This is an immense spot right here. And the people get uncomfortable, but it's not. There's no way you're going to really get killed from anywhere unless they start peeking you, and they're not really going to expect a player to be here. You can just come out quickly and pre-fire a guy who's running up and you hear him. So this is a great place to play. Just stick around this area if you're the 4th or 5th guy. Obviously under the bridge is very common, and this is a really good spot too, just sitting right here. A lot of players are going to run up to here and they're going to try and get kills. You're going to get killed for that. But if you play it smart and you just stick around this area right here, try and get a kill. If you miss your shot, so what? You have multiple chances to get more kills, right? You miss your shot here, fine, fuck it. You run up, you get in the house, and you have so many more chances to kill. That's all it is on TSAT. Once you take a site, just give yourself lots of chances to kill and reposition. Because that means the CTs have to clear a new spot every single time, and when you clear spots as a CT, it's always like 2 spots at a time. So it gives you really good opportunities you don't have to be a good player, then you don't have to be a good shot, you just have to play smart. If you play smart and you have a good shot, you're going to be really nuts, kind of like me. So so do that. Give yourself opportunities to do that. Just something really quickly when you do plant in this site. Like I said, don't peek this back area until you know you can really tell that they're trying to take back the site. The flashes are starting to come over, etc. That's when it's probably safe to start peeking and catch a guy running up. A lot of players play right here and they want to kill the guy going up the ladder. Lots of players nade up here. Every time I see somebody play up here, they get naded and stuff. So just, if you want to play in this area, just don't play on that side. Whatever it takes. This is a much better place to play, and I usually just play the corner right here, because as soon as I hear him coming up, it's weird. The hitboxes get really strange when somebody goes up the ladder and they just fall off. Sometimes, so I just play here. As soon as I see him up, it's like a double peek. I wait here. I see him up, I start shooting, he reacts and starts shooting back, and then I re-peek and then I kill him. So because he just feels it's strange for him, because a guy starts shooting a little bit, so you start shooting back. You're a little bit panicked because you're in a vulnerable spot, and you stop shooting because you don't want to just keep blasting away, and the guy repeaks and blasts you back. So just play cat and mouse here. This is a really great spot if you're one of the last guys alive, because right here you can just wait here, kill a guy, and I mean, nobody, when they're coming into the site, they're coming around the corners, and they don't. This is almost like not a non-spot. Nobody really looks there. I've won a few rounds where it's like 3-on-1 and it's only me alive, and I'm playing the oddest spot right there, and I win the round. Because this guy didn't even shoot back when he's clearing the site from me. I mean, I just stood there and he basically looked all the way over there while I just blasted him really easily. He didn't shoot back even. And then I come out and I kill out 2 other guys trying to take back the site. So that works really good. This guy right here, play smart. You can win the round for your team, or you can totally lose the round for your team. So don't get antsy. Okay, you can be the hero by getting kills to win the round, not by getting a long distance kill trying to outkill the opper who's posted up on you most likely. So that's about it there for that. One really decent idea really quickly before we end this is the middle. Now, like I said, most people don't eco up middle, and if they do, it's usually no nades, no nothing, and they run up and they just get mowed down. Anybody who spots middle, there's going to be a nade fest, right? So the only way you're going to get up middle is if you bait those. So maybe come up here with one guy with a deagle, tries to blast once or twice, and they fall back. Once nades go off, okay, great, they did. You're really going to need a smoke or 2 for this. That's the only issue. So you might be able to do this on a gun round or a partial buy. That's somewhat of a partial buy will really work on this too. Come up here and just smoke up, and then you guys are just going to walk up. You're walking all the way until you get spotted. You get spotted, and you guys just gotta run, and you gotta trust your teammate to check the opposite side as you run up. So one guy commits, he turns one way, the other guy commits and turns the other way, and you guys just bust in the side going up hard. And it works on ecos because a lot of teams, if you've been playing like slow rounds, lots of picks, lots of rotations, and suddenly middle of the game. You just bust, and they've been playing on op and CT spawn, for example, and you've been smoking, and you've never really taken middle as a team like crazy like that. There's always been splits and stuff. A 5-man up middle like that can just set them off guard, and you want to throw things like that in the middle of the game. I've actually done stuff like that in gun rounds even. People think, oh, ecos work because they're clever and you have to use every advantage possible on your eco to make it work. They're strong. Ecos are strong gun rounds often. Most maps, most of the ideas on ecos you can apply to gun rounds, but if you do them over and over, obviously that's not going to work. You want to play gun rounds to the advantage of your guns, right? You want to be slow. You want to pick out. You want to scout out. Blah blah blah. And ecos tend to be violent rounds. So, but that was somewhat my style when I played back, is in your face, really violent up close, and it works well. Ecos are all, that's basically what an eco is you want to get up close, you want to close the distance and overwhelm people, and you can do that with guns. If you threw 5 people up middle on a gun round, just a few smokes where you have one guy go smoke up kitty, rejoin with the guys up here on middle, and the guy can't pick you, and you guys walk up to this point, and one flash goes off the corner, and you guys all bust into the side, 5 guys. Even if one guy kills 2, he's so worried about somebody coming from behind him, or one guy is so worried about the guys coming up kitty while the other guy is fighting. It's the idea of a guy possibly coming up is enough for them to spread out. So keeping 5 guys in one spot can really be dangerous and be aggressive. So. Alright guys, I hope that helps you guys out. Remember, play on this map, play smart in the way where you don't run into choke points. Choke points on this map are vicious. So many teams give up rounds by rushing into areas and they just get cut down. So play smart and good luck to you guys.